Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gamersledge. I am Mark, and I'm a player in tonight's campaign. So let's turn it over to our DM, John.
Hey, good evening, everybody. We're starting right where we left off from last week. Last week, our band of adventurers had defeated the Count Borisco and his man Marco in the town of Avel. They had freed the town from the vampire and from the werewolf and their evil, and they had buried the countess next to her husband and their daughter, and allowed her to have some rest and peace, and her ghost was able to leave. And so our party had started down the mountain, and that's where we start, is with everybody walking down the mountain. But before we go further, I want to welcome Daniel.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
And Chris.
Hey, glad to be back.
Yeah, glad to have you. So that's where you guys are, and you have Danilo, Feder, and Boyani riding with you. And as a reminder, Danilo and Feder are Cossacks, and Boyani is one of Artur's men. So here you are, first thing in the morning. Have some packed lunches that who gave it to you? Yiva gave you some packed lunches.
Yes.
And here you are, out of town, heading downhill.
With our horses, not on
With
foot.
your horses. Yeah, not walking, with the horses. And with your trusty Rhina Buffalo baby, tromping along beside Zetich.
Oh, Kevin.
So there you are. So what's up? What is it you guys want? Plans? Anything you guys want to talk about or questions? What's going on?
Why did they move the host? Did they give a reason why the host was moved?
They did not. You've not been given a reason why the host moved.
I will approach it with the men and say, was the host moved because of danger or just because it was time?
It was time to move. Boyani actually speaks up. You guys are riding close to each other, and he says, war is coming to Orloff's land. The disciples are on the move. The host, lots has been going on, and the host wanted to make sure it was in a secure area.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Danilo says that last bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea since we kind of destroyed their airship facility.
Now, Danilo says, we left before the host moved. We were told they would move.
Right.
And Feder says, yes, we weren't told where it was moving to.
Right. We'll have to go back to the last place and pick up the signs.
Yes, exactly so. Boyana kind of looks and says, signs?
Signs everywhere. Funking up the scenery. I said funking up the scenery. Breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the signs? And
I finally realized what the bloop bloop sounds were. I realized I just now noticed the chat. I was on another screen.
Yeah, I mean, I will say to him, there are signs, if you know where to look, to find where the host has gone.
He just kind of thinks, all right. He makes a kind of all right face and looks ahead and rides on with you guys.
Z-Teach, is there anything that you need to do before we return and start tracking the host?
Not that I can think of. There are some books that I'm working on for your shaman to help further education. Something that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no.
Sveta, what about you?
Just as we're riding along, I wanted to wrap up some of the events from before. So I'm gonna ride up next to you both and say, consider yourselves lucky. You're among the few who have ever seen Svarog's form and lived. And I'll tell you to, please keep this amongst yourselves and do not tell others. The miracle of Svarog, like incarnating on Earth, is the last defense of the Kuznaya. And she'll look at you both and become very serious. And if I'm ever in peril again and he comes to my aid, I advise you to exercise great caution. You are my friends, and I give you my protection and support as a companion to your worthy cause. However, Svarog pledges no allegiances, and he knows not of your honor. His wrath is singularly focused, and he will eliminate the threat no matter the cost. Do not stand between him and his targets.
So
That's a good note. Yeah, that's something we probably should have been told yesterday.
So that was not you?
No.
So how does that work?
When the Kuznaya become injured to a point that Svarog thinks that they are at perilous risk, either I can call upon him or he will force his spirit upon me, and my body will transform to his blood and flesh.
That's the part that I mean no flippance or disrespect. I just don't understand. How do you turn back from that?
Once he sees that feels that the threat is gone, he will relinquish control of my body.
Right, but it's no longer your body at that point. That's the part I'm having problems with. You literally became something else. So how does that work? I understand it's
As
divine intervention, but
as he leaves my body, he gifts me with regenerative healing, and that transforms my body back to the way it was.
that is amazing.
That is the blessing of the Kuznaya.
I feel somewhat underpowered.
Just for context, it is the equivalent of going berserk. So.
Not quite, because it's berserk with a god inside you.
Yes, but for fluff only.
I ride on the left with someone who can level mountains. I ride on the right with someone who can become a god. Me and my cyber horse will stay right in the middle.
Hey, Chris.
If
Yes.
it's any consolation, we're stuck in the middle with you.
You made me laugh. Boing.
What were you saying, John?
Yeah. Out of character.
Yeah.
How tall is Sveta?
Uh,
Last we talked, it was 6'5", right?
No, I thought she was over 7 after she grew.
originally
No.
she was like 6 foot, 6'1".
Right. And then last time we talked, it was 6'5", right?
Sure. Are we continuously increasing her height?
Yeah, because she's currently 6'7".
Okay.
Yeah, we're not to 7 foot yet.
I need to write this down somewhere then.
Yes, you do.
All right, got it written down.
Okay. All right. So just some record keeping from last week. Z Teach. That ley line that you felt nearby.
Yes, sir.
It's still there. It has dimmed in power a little bit. It was kind of unusually powered, possibly because of the full moon, possibly because of full moon on Halloween. Who knows exactly what was going on, but it was a little uber powered. And so it is fading a little bit in its power. You guys are riding towards it. You will reach that ley line. Right now, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. You should be at that ley line about 7 o'clock. It's going to be kind of tough to impossible to go around. It is between you and the host, or at
Okay.
least where the host was.
So, like last time, we're going to take a lot of extra precautions from further back to make sure we don't come across a creature that's feeding on it or coming from it.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, but fair to tell you that you are headed that way.
Yep, and bristling with energy.
And bristling with energy. Yes, you are.
He seems annoyingly optimistic this morning. More so than usual.
So Monday.
Yeah, more so than usual.
So Monday.
So Monday.
Monday with a clod of food in his hand.
Yep.
Yep. Got it. By the way, is that nuclear exploding snow behind you? He's not talking now, so we can't see it.
It is. I think.
All right.
No, it's in my ice spell.
Oh.
So you guys ride along. It's as you move down the mountain, the snow does decrease, and it gets a little warmer. And lunchtime comes around noon. Do you guys dismount, eat?
Probably keep going.
Okay.
Eat
All right.
while we're riding.
Okay. You guys eat while you're riding?
Unless the horse, well, I mean, unless the I'm getting used to Cyberpunk already. Unless the meatbag horses need to stop and rest.
Yeah.
If the horses are like getting stiff, or they need a cool down
Yeah,
in a fire.
it's an old cowboys Wild West kind of thing. The cavalry on long rides um, alternate between riding and walking, and which is generally a healthy thing to do. It's good for the rider because you're not so saddle sore, and you stretch. It's healthy for you, and it's healthy for the horse to kind of be free from that, but the whole time you're moving. So I have to assume Cossacks would do something similar. I
Yep.
have no idea, but so. And obviously, you're correct with your cyber horse. You wouldn't need to do that, but you would be more than aware what the other horses need.
Right. And so if it seems like, even with the the altering between riding and walking, if it seems like they need to stop, then we can stop. Otherwise, we'll probably just keep going.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you guys continue on past lunch. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. You can see the glow of the ley line ahead. As you get towards 4 o'clock in the evening, the sun is starting to set. It's the 1st of December after all, and so you guys. Well, I guess actually we just went. Anyway, it's just the 1st of December. Never mind where the time went. So you guys are riding down the hill. 4 o'clock. It's starting to get dark. It'll get dark about 5.
You mean the 1st of November, right?
Yeah, it is the 1st of November.
I'm making sure I didn't miss something.
Yeah, I know. Well, I always try. We didn't zip through time, so it is the 1st of November. But the snow is spotty in places, mostly where under vegetation, and places where the sun wasn't quite so bright. It's chilly though. It's probably 50 degrees. So you guys are a little chilly, although most of you are in some kind of armor or made of metal. So maybe you're not cool. But so you ride on. 5 o'clock. It's dark. You can see the glow of the ley line up ahead, and everybody roll notice rolls.
It's gonna shape up to be one of those days, which is awesome. I'm making up for that 45.
Wait.
Fate has to balance.
Oh, there we go. So we got 1 success and 1 raise, and 1 failure.
Yes. So, Sveta, you guys have not been on a path exactly. You've been riding. You've been. You're welcome. You've been riding towards where the host was, but you've been basically going across terrain, kind of like the current map. Sveta, you notice an area right where you are. There's a rocky area to your right, which is, so you're not riding through that area. It's sharp, it's jagged, and I don't know, 200-300 yards to the left is a forested area, and you notice that ahead, Sveta notices this. There's an area where the grass is thinner, and it's that area is probably 50 yards square. So you've had pretty much wild grass, just high plains kind of stuff, and you notice that up ahead there's a 50 yard by 50 yard area where the grass is thinner, and the ground looks not compact, and that's 20 feet ahead of you when you notice it.
Hmm.
It's 19 feet ahead of you when you notice it.
Okay. I'll point that out to the rest of the group. I'm kind of confused as to what that would mean.
18 feet ahead of you guys.
Let's pull up stop. Pull the caravan to a stop. Because I mean, what would that mean to me as somebody who's out here? Is that like something I've never seen before, or does that?
It just looks like something's disturbed the dirt or torn up the grass or done something in that area.
How is Randall doing? Is he sniffing the air and worried? Is he
Make a notice roll or make a smarts roll.
Oh, Randall. I thought his name was Kevin.
No, it starts with an R because he's a rhino. I keep changing it to R names, but it's R for a rhino.
Yeah, he looks bothered.
There's something here, guys.
Let's slowly back up.
Yeah, I agree. We'll slowly back up. And...
I'll pull the gear shift to put it in reverse. Beep, beep, beep.
Is there a way around this patch?
Jagged rocks. So I guess you're going to take the 10 over the 8 there, Shinkansen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I will take the 10 over the 8.
Didn't even notice we were rolling for it.
No, I didn't know we were rolling. You didn't say anything.
I didn't
I know.
Clever
girl.
So, right when you guys start to back up...
Beep, beep, beep.
Oh.
That's an ugly boy.
That jumps up out of the ground.
Are those biological Gatling guns?
It is biological something guns. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner, you get a size comparison. That's a guy in a mecha suit.
Where? Oh,
bottom
right.
Bottom left corner.
Okay, bottom right.
Bottom right. Yeah, sorry, bottom right.
So, I have one question, John.
Yes.
Who hurt you?
The answer is one of us, apparently.
Apparently.
One of us, it's apparently hurt him deeply.
Okay, so I'm seeing something that has 3 heads, 2 biological Gatling guns, pounder fists, maybe even something that shoots something on the wrists.
And that's when I say, Debbie, is that you? Sorry.
Yeah.
Guys, do I want to try and ride it? No. Yeah.
Z-Teach.
Yeah, because it's Z-Teach's turn.
Yeah, it is.
Yeehaw.
How far are we from
quite
that
angry.
line?
It's at 18 feet was where we stopped and started back up.
How far are we from the ley line, though?
Oh.
2 or 3 hours.
Oh, dang.
2 hours. It's 5 o'clock. It's 2 hours away.
So that's not in Z Teach's unlimited bat range.
No.
Not quite. That would be amazing. Because you know why? I would be like, all right, guys.
Yeah, see ya. And he flies by.
He disappears into the mist, holding on to Randall. All right, so Z-Teach is going to cast Deflection, but he's going to be casting Master Deflection, which has the possibility of being a -6 from the attacker onto my people's. Pow! That's a raise, so it will be 6 points instead of 7. Okay, so on you guys, if we can flip back to the map. Oh, we don't have a. We don't have a token for him, do we? For big old boy.
No, he's now he is size 8. And let me look that up. He is size 8. So you guys have a +4 to hit him.
All right, then.
Is that right? Yeah, you have a +4 to hit him.
You see the note, John, right above his left shoulder, or his right shoulder, I guess. The bad guy has a -6 to hit all of us.
Oh,
And
you
any
put
of
that
us.
there.
Yeah, I put that.
I was
there.
like, I don't remember that being there when I found the picture.
You sure don't. And I'll keep track. I've got a die here, so I'm gonna keep track of the rounds. But he is going to have a harder time hitting us, at least for the beginning.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's me. And I'm going to continue backing up. That's my movement.
Okay. Sveta.
And I'm sorry, one more question, because it may affect Sveta's stuff. This burst out of the ground?
It did.
Okay. So Sveta, where is your god now?
I have a feeling we'll be seeing him in a little bit.
We very well might. Oh man.
Sveta in Ukrainian does not translate to Bambi, right?
Nice.
I don't get that reference.
Bambi versus Godzilla.
Oh.
It's Bambi foraging in a field, and then Godzilla steps on it, and all you see is Bambi's little legs flayed out, and it says "the end" as soon as it happens.
So she'll pull out her bow, I guess, and gosh, what can I do? And she'll enchant her arrow with steel, which gives it 2d6 more and 1 more armor piercing. And how hard would it be to hit this thing's eye?
+4 to hit, -2 for a called shot. Although, which eye? There's a whole bunch of them. There's at least 8 of them.
So shoot him in the eye, so it does nothing to his vision.
I'm guessing center guy's eye.
He has 4.
Oh, sorry.
One of those.
So you'd have a +2
All right.
net. Although, is it really? called shots. No, actually, now that I look it up on page 99, it's going to be a -5. So your overall would be a -1.
Hmm. Okay, I can try that. Because with my marksman skill, it's ignores up to 2, so that makes it a +1.
Okay.
So hopefully this lands. Nope, don't like that. Is that worth Bennying?
Zenny Benny. Zenny Benny.
You can't use them if you're dead.
Is that from
That's-
Bill and Ted?
Thank you. Yes, it was Ziggy
Okay.
Piggy modified
Okay.
to Zenny Benny.
Yep. Jenny,
There we go.
Jenny, Benny.
That's much better.
That's much better. So there's 26 with armor piercing too.
Okay, so you hit with a 10, and you did 26 points of damage.
Yes.
All right. And you did that with armor piercing?
Yes.
And what it's 2 points of armor piercing?
Yes.
Okay. So the critter is shaken.
All right.
Bullet train.
Okay, I immediately kick the horse into drive, and we're going for it. Gonna try and get through. I don't know what. So it's 18 feet away. I don't know what my full gallop is, but I'm gonna assume that I should be able to try and get through its legs at a full gallop.
Let me see. The pace on a horse is 12. Yeah, the
So-
pace on a horse is 12.
So that should be plenty.
Yeah.
If it's only 18 feet away.
Yeah, page 10. Remind myself what pace is. Pace.
It's not New York
Yes,
City.
each increment, each digit is 2 yards. So your pace is 6 because you're human.
Right.
So that's 12 yards
Right.
that your person. So it's 24 yards that the horse can go, and 24 is times 3 is 12, 70 something feet.
Right. So more than enough to run through its legs. Since it's only 18 feet away.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a drive-by shooting. We're charging at him. I am aiming down the barrel of the right side Gatling gun and taking 2 shots to get its attention as I ride through its legs.
Okay, so your plasma gun, you're going to try to shoot the right Gatling gun.
Correct.
Okay. You have a +4 to hit. And that particular called shot I opened right to the page last time. That particular called shot. We'll call that a limb, I guess, and say it's -2, so you have a +2 to hit it.
But my plasma rifle ignores up to 2 points of penalties.
So you have a +4.
Yeah. So first shot.
Okay, you've hit.
Okay. And then the second shot.
And matter of fact, you should do another d6 of damage. So roll your damage normal and add d6.
Okay. So 21 plus 6, so 27.
D6.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, John. So 22.
So 22 points.
22 points of damage.
Yeah. Is there any armor piercing or anything like that? Well,
I have it on the swords. I thought I did, and I specifically went to go look that up, but there's not any listed on my entry.
There's not.
There's not that I can see. No.
Well, I actually am just one page away from that, so let me
That
look.
would be fantastic.
Laser, particle, plasma, AP, nothing.
Okay. So nothing.
Nothing. That's the technical term. Nothing.
Yep. Nothing.
Okay, so you did not do enough to wound him, so he's shaken, but he's already shaken, and shaken plus shaken means a wound, so he now has 1 wound.
Okay, and then I'm going to use the second shot for... Does it look like I disabled that thing? Because if not, I'll shoot at it again.
Shoot at it again.
Okay. Is a 7 enough to hit?
Yeah, you hit.
Okay.
I mean, you've got a +4.
I know, but I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
So that one is also an additional D6 or no?
No, you don't have a raise. Well, with the +4, you have a raise, yes. So another D6.
Okay. So that is
How are you
34.
rolling the 30 frickin' 1.
Exploding first 12, and then the rest normally.
So the 12 and the 8 are because the 12 exploded. What's the 5 and the 3?
3d12?
Is it?
Yeah. The 3 is... Yeah. So...
The 12,
12 and
the
the
12
8
was
is
max,
the...
and we rolled into an 8.
Yeah,
and then
the
a 5,
5
and then
a 3. From
Oh,
3 to
yeah.
12.
Huh.
Nice
It's supposed to be 3d12 plus 3, right?
Yes.
So it's 12, 8, 5, 3.
Oh, I
and
see the
then
+3. I
Yeah.
see the +3. I thought we were missing a die.
Nope.
I got it. Yeah, I thought we were missing a die. That's what I was confused. Awesome. All right. So, so that's a shaken result and another wound.
But I assume he does not collapse over dead.
He does not.
Boo. All right, yeah, so I'm riding right through the center. Hopefully I got his attention. Do I need to make any kind of riding?
Well, no, you moved and made your actions.
Okay. And then that's it for me.
Okay. He makes his vigor roll, so he's no longer shaken. And so 2 things are going to happen here. You see the the left and right kind of insect faces on him?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everybody in front of him is going to in Savage Worlds, there are basically breath weapons, and the way breath weapons work is an attack that telegraphs itself is something you can evade. Okay? So the way you make an evasion roll is page 100 for those of you following along at home is you make an agility roll at -2, and if you're successful, the target's 4. If you're successful, then you've avoided the attack. So you guys see those two faces start to look like they're gonna spit. And right as they're starting to spit, you see this green goo start to come out, and all of you in front, not Orist, make evasion rolls.
Wow.
It's gonna be fine.
I got out of there so fast.
ZT's
I got a
like,
Benny. I got a Benny.
But it's
I got a
Monday.
Benny. Hey, 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 hey.
At -2.
yeah, ZT's got another Benny.
It's not letting me take.
I'll
If I-
steal it.
Okay. Let it go.
That's
There we
better.
go. About to say, it's like with my agility, could I just grab him and take
He's-
him with me?
ZT is seeing it, and he ducks to the left and goes, nope. And ducks to the right and goes, nope. And goes, oh, to the left.
Him and his horse?
Yep.
Him and his horse.
You are only 6'7". You're not moving horses yet.
Yeah.
All right, so I also, let's see.
You better roll for all the rest of the posse.
That's what I'm doing now. Let me pull this up. There we go. Danilo misses. Feder is fine. And Boyani doesn't get out. So Danilo and Boyani are hit.
Watch out for the tobacco attack.
This. They're hit for.
If you wanted to pull someone else to safety, how would that work in like an evasion roll?
I don't know. I'd probably give you another minus, but I mean, in this case, you're on horses.
Yeah.
It's really a split second kind of thing. So I don't know. The rules don't cover it, but
Yeah.
in this particular situation, if you tried to move your horse to him, to grab him, to move, you'd have both just been hit. There's not, because again, it's a split second thing. Okay, so Danilo and Boyani are shaken. And Feder has moved out of the way. And they spray out this acidic green goo crap that kind of hits everything. Oh, well, let me also, I guess.
Oh no, he's rolling for Roger. Roy.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Roy's fine. Roy rolled a 13. And thanks for the reminder, because I forgot about him. No, I remembered that while Boyani and Danilo are wearing armor, their horses are not.
Uh-oh.
And their horses are dead.
And they now have horse soup between their legs.
Yes, they have digested, gooey horse soup. Some people like horse soup. All right. So now I need to deal. Bam.
Everybody gets Benny.
And I guess Shinkansen, you want to keep the.
I will keep the Joker.
How the heck did that happen? There we go. All right. Buy cards. Okay. Oh. I did forget one little detail. Before that, apologies. Those turret things turn, and the two of them aim backwards and shoot missiles.
I interrupt.
No. This happens at the same time as the spitting. I just forgot about you back there. But they miss. They fly over your head and they hit the ground, and there's this huge fiery explosion where they hit.
Okay.
Now it's your turn.
Okay. I need to know what does the back of this thing look like?
It's this tough armored skin. You can see ridges.
So I'm trying to dance around this a little bit, but you know how baboons have very clear differentiation behind them?
Okay.
Anything like that?
No. I mean, it like a rhino isn't differentiated.
Well, it has skin versus plates. So, yeah, I'm just trying to see where socks.
It has an elephant butt.
Yeah.
Well,
not a baboon butt.
This has a. It has a little bit of a tail. You see how it has like this bone stuff that sticks out from its plate?
Yep.
From its chest?
Yep.
It has a similar thing right at its backside that's kind of almost arrow-shaped. And with plates. And so you see those ridges go down its back.
Okay.
Those ridges go all the way down and end in that arrow-shaped tail.
All right. Well, in that case, if I can't Ant-Man it, then I'm gonna shoot at the right missile launcher since it's facing me.
Okay.
Again. So +4 to hit. 14.
There you go.
Okay.
And damage on the first one is D6. 26.
Okay. So he's shaken.
And then second shot. I'm gonna spend a penny on that.
That was a mistake. Ignore that.
Okay. And then I spent my penny. Re-roll that. 10?
Yeah. That'll hit. 4 hits.
But no, is that's still a raise?
That's
Yeah,
still
it's-
raised. Yeah.
Okay.
And how far away is he?
From you,
Yes.
18 feet.
Okay.
So 18 on the second one.
Okay, so the first one he's shaken, and the second one bounces off.
Yep.
Now that first shot, you see that right canister thing, uh, it kind of gets bloody and goes limp.
Okay. Happens in your 40s. Got it. Perfect. That's
All
me.
right, so that would be me,
Yes.
and so we're gonna roll that. Okay, he's no longer shaken. The left canister is going to shoot at you, Mark.
Of course it is.
Shinkansen. It hits.
Ow.
It is going to do this much damage. Right? Let me look at that again.
I think it's going to do less.
That's correct.
That's correct. It's going to do less.
Your armor is 12.
12.
Armor toughness.
Yep. 12.
Okay, so you take 14 points of damage. You're shaken.
Okay.
There's this just conflagration of just. Have we discussed the toughness and whatnot of your horse?
We have not.
So a normal horse is going to have a toughness of 8.
Mm-hmm.
Sveta's horse has a toughness of 10
Mm-hmm.
because it's a war horse.
Yes.
Let me look, see if we have stats for cyber horses. Cybernetics.
The horses prefer you to call them horsenetics.
I have a number in my head that I'm going. Ah, there we go. 44.
44 toughness. That's awesome.
Really? Oh, there it is. Holy crap. Well, yours is not a robot horse, it's a cyber horse.
Right.
So it does have some horsey bits.
Yes.
A robot horse has a toughness of 24. According to this book.
You showed up nothing because
really?
the camera just cut it out.
It's the Savage Foes of North America. Empires of Humanity, Game Masters. I'm going to check one more book, and then we're going to go with the number that's in my head.
Zombie.
Your horse has a toughness of 10. No, a war horse has a 10.
Yeah, warhorse has
Yeah.
10.
Let's make it a 14.
Okay.
So the damage is going to bounce off the horse.
Yes. This time.
So, yes, your horse is fine. You are shaken, sir. Mr.
Yes.
Zetich.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm not done. I'm forgetting. It charges forward the 18 feet and takes a swing at Sveta.
Okay.
What's your parry?
Let me scroll back up to my page. 9.
Okay. All right. It actually hits you. And we're going to do that. So that's so he hit you with 21 points. When he swung at you, he kind of did a Wolverine of those claws shooting out of his wrist,
Hmm.
and he hit you with those claws. So the first thing before we get to damage is make, and I'll let you decide which, either a strength roll or a horse riding roll. Decide which one you like. Okay, that's a success. So you stayed on your horse. Now, 21. Your armor is 12.
15.
Your armor is 15.
Sorry, my armor by itself is 8. Combined with toughness is 15.
Okay, 15. So he exceeded your toughness by 6 points. So it's not a raise, so you're shaken.
Okay.
Now I'm done, Mr. Z-Teach. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Okay, so Z-Teach is going to pull out a bone wand as he's slowly trying to back up away from this thing, or trying to back up, not slowly. And he's going to swing the wand and say, where's the wand? Trabem infirmitem, and a blast of dark green, kind of sickly energy will spring out and strike the creature, hopefully withering him. Pow. I got a penny.
Well, you have a success at your that's the casting, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's a success.
Okay. And that's the damage.
That's the damage is 16.
16, yeah.
Okay. A part of his, you hit that chest piece, and you see it gets a little darker, but not much else happens.
Okay.
And so, let's deal.
Well, what about Sveta?
Sveta doesn't get to do anything.
Okay.
Sveta, make a bigger roll.
That's fine.
Sveta, make a bigger roll. You are no longer shaken and connect as per normal, sir.
Okay. Oh, 1 second.
Somebody came in and sapped Chris out of reality.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I saw.
That's what I saw too. I just watched it
Sorry about that.
on the stream.
So she'll enchant another arrow with steel.
Okay.
And
you realize that this is 6 inches away from you now.
Oh.
Because he just walked up and punched you.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm gonna use my hammer. I was thinking he extended his Wolverine claws 18 feet and swiped at me.
No. He walked up. He did extend them, but I mean, in relative terms, he did run up Anyway, yes, he's in hammer range.
Okay. So
Yes. Okay, so you rolled a 9. So you've hit. The 9 was not a raise. So no additional damage. So you did 23. That's over the armor, but not twice the armor. So no raise. But
Point of order, John. Would have
yes,
been
sir.
13, not 9.
Parry 7, so still not a raise.
Okay.
But yes, very good point of order. Thank you for that.
No problem.
So 23.
Sorry, one other point of order. When it hit Sveta, did you take the -6 into account?
I did.
Okay, just making sure. Sorry.
And you. Anyway, not a raise on the damage, and so the critter is shaken. However,
okay. I believe with frenzy I can make a second attack.
So that hits.
It's better.
Still not a raise on damage.
Yes.
And not a raise not a raise on your hit. You'd need a 14 for that.
Mm.
But that's another wound, which is the third wound. The creature his central head was coming down to bite Sveta, and as it came down, Sveta just took the hammer and smashed right through the top of his skull, and the creature just kind of slowly just kind of falls forward and goes limp.
Mm-hmm.
And Zetich and Sveta, if you could please.
Yes.
Both of you make notice rolls. Mr. Zetich, do you see where I'm pinging the map?
Yes, sir.
You see that spot?
Yeah.
There is a carved metal bit of something embedded in his chest right there. It's all metallic, and it looks like that.
Does this creature look like it's dead?
Yeah, it looks like its central skull has been crushed by a massive Kuznaya hammer and is dripping this gooey green crap out its skull.
Yes, but I was gonna say it has 2 other heads though.
They seem to have gone limp too.
Okay. Zetich will get off of his horse and try to calm Ralph before pointing it out to Bullet Train and Zeta. And then
Bullet Train is not there.
Oh,
I'm on the
Bullet
other
Train
side.
is on the other side.
He'll shout out. Zetich will shout out, and then start walking up cautiously to the giant monstrous creature to take a closer look at this.
You can see that it looks like that metal was carved and placed into that chitinous bit of its front chest, and it's healed, but you can see that metal. So it's not yellow and red. It is a
It's like stamped or formed.
Yeah, it's like somebody took a iron shape and just smashed it into this thing's chitin. and so it's the outside of the pentagram. It's a star and it's the letters.
Oh, wait. Is there a metal spike in its chitin? Or is it a stamp in its
No,
chitin?
it's a metal, a chunk of, well, it's
It's a metal
technically
a chunk of
Okay.
metal that's been stamped.
it's a chunk of metal that's been
Okay.
shoved into its chitin.
Yeah, I want to get that out.
Now technically it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of metal, because each shape is a chunk of metal. So there's the pentagram, the star, and each letter are all pieces of metal that got hammered in.
Oh. Oh, see, that's not. I was thinking this was like some kind of technological doohickey that was controlling it or filling it with rage.
Hmm.
This creature was grown.
Yeah. And I'm gonna crawl up the back and stab the back of the central head.
Okay, the mush of the central head.
Yes,
Okay,
just to be sure.
I'll be right back.
okay. Stir a little bit.
Yep. Yep. And then I'll repeat for the other two heads.
Okay.
Climbing
All right.
on the back. I don't want to be anywhere near the mouths of those things.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Okay, no, I got you.
And then I want to cut the right turret off.
The one that you bloodied?
No, the other one.
Okay. All right. It's the size of your horse.
Yeah, I didn't say I'm taking it with me. I just want to cut it off. I want to see if I can figure out how it works from looking at both ends. Is it chemical? Is it actual weapon? What the hell is it?
It's biological. It's a
Okay.
biological something that shoots exploding missiles.
Well, that's part of what I'm asking about. Are the exploding missiles actual missiles, or are they like biological?
Everything you see
Bone
looks
shards?
biological.
Okay, that's the question. That's what I was trying to get to. Got it. Okay. By chance, would I know what this is, or have ever seen this?
No clue.
Okay.
Yeah, no, nothing like this. Although this is Rift's Earth,
Yeah.
and so you're not surprised.
No,
but no,
no, not at all.
this is a new one.
Sveta, have you ever seen this before?
I would think not. So no.
This isn't even. This is cross species breeding. Because the middle looks like a giant ape of some kind, and then you obviously have insects either embedded or grown inside it.
It is a true monstrosity.
Yeah. Really stabbing the heads, make sure they're dead.
Yeah, it looks very dead.
Okay.
Each is going to take a moment and he's going to attempt to draw it.
Draw it.
Draw it.
So pen, paper,
Yep.
pencil, paper.
Yep.
Okay.
To add it to his booklet of creatures, of things that he's seen while here.
So in your head, Mr. Bullet Train,
Yeah.
this green gooey crap, it'd be nice if you got that off us. It's not exactly comfortable.
What?
It just feels icky.
Oh no, I would have. Sorry. I didn't. My fault. I didn't say it. I didn't think I had to say it. Every time it's used, it is cleaned before it's put back in its.
Oh, I know. This is before you got to that point.
Got
I
it,
mean,
got
like
it, got
while the
Got it.
sword is in the head,
Yes.
they're asking to be cleaned.
Yes, understood. And that's what I reply. Understood, and then clean them and put them away. And
This just feels wrong. I I don't know what's wrong with this, but this isn't a normal thing.
no, it's not. This is horrific. Can I tell the teeth? Are they like, or that those incisors? Are they like ivory? Or are they like bone? Or are they?
The middle head?
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like normal monster teeth. If normal monster teeth is a thing.
I'm just looking. It's got to be half this. It's got to go from my head to my navel, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's crazy. And
I
the
thought you guys would have more trouble with this since the toughness was 20.
the claws are made of bone as well,
Um,
or metal.
it seems metallic.
Huh. That's gonna bear a little bit closer inspection. I'm gonna say sorry, guys. Need you again, and I'm gonna. I don't know how to do this except pinging. The right side of this chamber, I'm gonna go all the way up, trying to expose it and see how that's been done. Is it a mechanism? Is it a
And it's muscle and ligaments and
but it's some kind of metal that's in the actual chamber.
yeah.
So they must have done that to this creature as well, somehow.
That's not a bad assumption.
Can I see what kind of metal it is? For knowledge sake?
It is an MDC Killy metal. As far as a name, I don't know. I didn't think that up.
So we know it's Irish because it's Achille metal.
It's it's a really hard
It's
MDC.
Myarium.
Death metal.
It's death metal. That's exactly what it is. Death metal.
All right then. And final question about the metal inside for me. The points of it. Does it look like they have been filed and shaped, or are they literally just giant metal like slabs that
They come to a sharp point, but you don't see marks as if somebody had a giant file on them.
okay.
More like they were probably cast in that shape.
Right. Okay. Well,
Did you want to do something with the metal there, Sveta?
Yeah, can I salvage it?
Hammer it into this horse.
yeah.
So there's more here than you can carry.
Mm-hmm.
With 6 horses?
We don't have 6 horses anymore.
Yeah, you have 4 horses and 6 people.
With 4 horses and 2 of the guys that are walking?
Who, by the way, are rolling on the ground and have just finished trying to get all the green goo off themselves. So, one, it's really heavy, like gold bar kind of heavy.
Wait, the metal's gold bars?
No,
I
said
know.
gold bar heavy.
I know.
So, maybe you could get like a loaf of bread sized chunk. I mean, obviously there's as much here as you want, but just as far as what you're going to be able to realistically walk away with or ride away with, I would say a loaf of bread sized chunk, because it is really heavy.
Well then, yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. So that's going to take you. Um, that's going to take you 2 hours.
Okay.
And so, what's everybody else doing for 2 hours? Danilo looks at you, Z-Teach,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "You sometimes can do odd things. You're like the shaman, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have something that can?" And he's kind of wiping his arm. He says, "Do you have something that can finish getting this goo off of us?"
Fire.
Fire would be bad. He's not completely armored.
What is the location like where we are? Are there any rivers nearby, or other than the ley line?
No,
Okay.
no. You're on a big open plain. Although, if you're looking for water, there are patches of snow around.
Yeah, I don't have any cleaning spells. I also don't have any stop being so picky spells.
Stop being so picky.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait, I'm checking my book. Grow up, it's only green stuff. Will that help you?
Wow.
What's that? Grow up, it's only green stuff. I got you. Um, he just kind of shrugs and wanders back and starts
Is
picking equipment off his horse.
is the green stuff like is it still acidic or poisonous or
Yeah, it's probably not
in
good.
its?
Yeah, there's steam and stuff, and they're not in full armored suits like you guys are. They
No, I'm
for
not.
Oh well, yeah, you got your little magic thing. You left your armor, right?
Yeah.
So I was going to. Mark said, "Strap it to the back of your horse. We
Yeah.
might be able to use it."
Yeah.
Okay, it's strapped to the back of the horse.
Yeah.
For game terms, they're in MDC armor, but it's not fully enclosed suits.
So I will have them stand. It's two of them, right?
Yeah.
I will have them stand close together, and then I'll pull out a wooden wand, give it a couple of practice flicks, and then I will use it to grab a whole bunch of snow and push it towards them. And as it's pushing the snow, like flinging the snow at them, it's going to shift into water and hopefully, like, not harm them, but power wash them
Yeah, yeah.
using elemental manipulation.
So go ahead and roll.
How many XP do I get for killing them?
Is All right. So that's a raise.
Son of a gun. Freaking dog.
I was starting to wonder if Chris got a dog. All right, that's a raise, and so you've successfully cleaned them off. They're very thankful.
Thank you for watching our backs.
Always.
And I will go and sit near Sveta and attempt to learn what she's doing, but not get any of that information.
Sveta's not here, but she's pulled 3 golden hammers out of a bag, and the only way she's going to accomplish this in 2 hours. And so she's got a hammer in each hand, and there's this invisible third hand coming out from the center of her chest, and she's banging on this thing and knocking out a loaf of bread sized chunk of metal.
And I'm cutting the. I mean, you said you wanted to do it, but you never said you actually did it, Daniel. So I'm gonna cut the bone carapace.
Yeah,
get-
it was way
get-
too involved for ZZ.
Yeah, to get the iron out.
So you're trying to just take the iron, or you're cutting a chunk of the chitin so that you have the metal bits still in their order?
Probably, like ideally, again, I don't know how easy or hard this is going to be with armor-piercing swords, but the idea would be to cut out a rough chunk that has them all, and then that's going to be like, I would imagine, a block the size of, whatever. And then I'm just going to try and cut out a small amount of bone that keeps them all still, hammered into it.
Okay, so the actual symbol is about the size of my fist.
Yeah, so I would have a small amount of bone behind it that it's still sunk into.
I got you. No, that makes sense to me completely. So just roll damage. You've already hit.
All right. I'm going to find where I rolled damage before and just re-roll that. Nope. Never mind. I'm not going to do that because that was my plasma gun. Katana. I know. We're just going to say I hit.
I got you.
There we go. So 17 with armor piercing 10.
Yes. So you've done everything that you want, and you have this fist size, and actually larger than fist size, chunk of chitin with that symbol in it.
Okay. And then I will hand it to Z-Teach. Present.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were gone.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
And he'll look at it. How deep is the piece? Is it only a couple inches?
Yeah, just 3 or 4 inches.
It's not like a 3-foot spike, a bunch of 3-foot spikes of metal, right?
No.
And does it look like something technological, or a bunch, or more of they were just like stamping these metal pieces in here to show that
they're just putting a Chevy symbol on the front of the car.
Son of a gun. These insane people.
I'm still trying to figure it out. You somehow grew. Do you think that they're two parasites grown inside a giant gorilla with weapons? I don't understand it. Because if you look, they have their own rib cages. So I'm guessing you probably could have killed each one of them before taking out the...
Just to be clear, I didn't do any of this.
What do you mean?
You keep saying that I was responsible for this. I wasn't. I had no hand in this.
What are you talking about? I didn't say that.
You were saying, you did this and you could have done that, and I think this is how you did this. You added the other things to the gorilla body, and you added the insect. I think that Mark was speculating as to how it was created, but he and Z-Teach are standing right next to each other.
Yes.
And by saying, I think you did this and you did that, Z-Teach wanted to make it clear that it was not him that did any of that.
No, I was saying these twisted people did it. I'm just trying to figure out how you would even, not you, but how people would even accomplish this. I mean, you can see that they have their own rib cages and probably their own life support, if you will, but the way that it's burrowed into the skin makes me think that there's some kind of parasites or symbiotic relationship or something. But then you have the fact that this thing has bioweapons that are basically rocket launchers and had claws installed. How does someone even build something like this? I think Orloff has real problem on his hand.
I wouldn't even know how this started.
Me either. I mean, I'm trying to look at it from the perspective of breeding horses, right? Except you're talking about breeding a horse with a moon rock that has aliens in it.
A moon rock?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I don't get it at all. I mean, maybe it mostly came this way from somewhere else through Rift. I don't know.
So Danilo looks at you and he says, "This thing was made
Yeah,
by the same people that had the flying machine?"
yeah.
Well, I mean, a different group of them probably. They have specialists. Kind of how your shaman has different abilities than I have. Their group has different specialists that are working on different projects.
Yeah, but wasn't this symbol, didn't it have all of them?
Without the
Rocket.
comets behind
Yeah.
it, it would be difficult to tell which group made this one.
You know, I'm going to search the rest of it to see if there's comments somewhere.
The from here down
Mm-hmm.
and its entire belly is kind of plowed into the ground. So to get to this part, you are actually bending over.
Right.
You know, this part right here. Can you see that? My little
Yes.
square?
But what you don't realize is that Mark is like Hammond. They're both diggers.
Spare no expense.
The actual creature, is approximately 32 tons.
So what you're saying is with a little elbow grease.
Yeah. I don't even think Sveta could pick this thing up. So you look around the critter and you don't see any other markings.
Okay. Nothing on the missile launchers or the bottom of the hand or anything like that.
No.
No tramp stamp
Mm-mm.
in the shape of comets. All right.
And of course, that's the part of the critter that you can see.
Right.
Like I said, that wedge of chest piece is 3/4 buried in the ground.
Well, I'll take the other Cossack with me that doesn't have a horse when we're ready to go.
All right.
And
Boyani needs a ride.
I think the chef's riding with Sveta.
Have aboard.
He'll hop up behind you. That's Arthur's guy.
Yep.
For reference.
Yep.
That's Boyani?
Boyani, yeah.
And we'll
And
once
in case
Sveta's
you've
got
forgotten, just for reference, that's how you spell Boyani.
I'm eyeing Sveta. She seem any taller?
It's kind of hard to tell. But I don't know. Make a notice roll.
A notice or an investigation, since I'm specifically snooping it out.
Whichever you prefer.
They're exactly the same, so I don't know why.
Roll investigation.
11. I'm like holding my hand up against the horizon.
that's close to 3. That's almost 2 raises. Yeah, she looks like maybe she's a couple inches taller.
So like 6
And
More
oh,
inches?
by the way, Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
what you really notice is the horse is taller, Mr. Horseman. And it seems like whenever she grows, this horse is growing too. And can you describe your horse to me there, Sveta?
Babe.
What it looks like?
Um,
Giant blue ox.
I'll just say it's a big black horse.
I gave you a description. Have we forgotten?
Oh, I don't remember.
You didn't write it down?
I vaguely remember it being. I don't recall. I think it was like a chestnut and
Yes.
white
Yes.
mix or something.
Yes. The mane of the horse does not look metallic, but it does have a bit of a golden glow. Not glow in the dark, but just
In the sun.
yeah. Which is new to the horse ish.
Okay.
All right. So 2 hours later, you got your loaf of bread, and it's now 7
p.m.
o'clock,
Yep.
and there's green goo in an area, and 2 gooey digested horses, and a dead critter, and it kind of smells, and you're a few hundred yards from a forest, and so. Do you want to make camp here, or are you continuing on?
Are we still like 2 hours from the ley line?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's going to be wiser than trying to go into a forest at night or to a ley line at night.
Yeah, true.
Probably backtrack a ways. Backtrack for 30 minutes away from this dead thing, so that if any kind of carrion creatures come, they're not going to be on top of us.
Okay. All right.
So-
30 minutes away.
Yeah, the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand the logic. That makes sense. So, all right. So you're there. You found a nice place. Matter of fact, let me check something real quick. Why don't you all make a survival roll? All right, Orist, you find, as you're riding back that half hour, you find on your left, where the rocky bits are, you find an area where the forest kind of moves farther away, and there's like this alcove, not a cave, because there's no ceiling, but you find a very defensible place with your backs up against this solid rock.
And it's not a maw of something, right?
No, it's not a maw of anything.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, no, it just looks like a kind of half circle in the rock.
All right, yeah, sure. We'll set up camp there.
All right.
I mean, can I investigate or perception? Notice whatever to try and see.
To not get eaten by the circle?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Although your survival roll was almost 2 raises, and you looked at it and said, "Oh, this looks like a safe place."
I don't know who you're looking at, but it wasn't mine. That's why I'm worried.
Who
I
rolled
got
an
a
11?
3. Nobody.
That was his previous
That was his
investigation.
previous
roll.
Oh, did
yeah.
Z-Teach not roll a survival roll?
Z-Teach did not roll a survival roll.
So I don't see a survival as on here. Like I'm not skilled in survival.
I thought that
Um,
was a generic skill
It's-
everybody got.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it is actually.
Oh, really? You guys took? Maybe it's part of your.
Yeah, I took it. I remember
I took
specifically
it.
taking it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I
All right. Fair enough.
specifically did not take it because it
Oh.
didn't make sense.
All right. All right.
And that's why I'm freaking out because about this circle because you're all like, it's perfectly fine. It's great.
Oh,
I'm like,
I saw the 11. I thought you rolled an 11. I'm sorry. Sveta,
It's open from this to the sky where all of the danger lizards come from.
Sveta, you have a success. You rolled a 5. You see this little alcove area that looks safe. And if you so choose, you can suggest it to the others.
Okay, yeah, I'll suggest that we camp.
Oh, good idea because I wasn't finding anything.
And you can make us a investigate roll if you want to see if it's.
Nope. It looked great to me. This is the best place you've ever found, Sveta. We're all gonna die.
All right. Is there a watch order?
I'll take first watch.
I'll take second.
I'll take
Are you
it.
making breakfast there, Z-Teach?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
All
no.
right.
I'm making one of the actual things I learned how to cook.
Breakfast clumps.
No, you don't deserve clumps.
Hot pocket
Oh my
surprise.
Let's just say I cut some steaks from something.
Oh God, no. Acid monsters.
If you did that, we'll get there. All right, Mr.
No,
Mark, sir.
I wouldn't have cut any steaks from it. It was obviously dangerous. I took some of its eggs.
Oh, that's totally
And-
different.
And it's cutely attached itself to your face while you're writing. How cute.
I had to store them somehow.
Okay, we're never going to get done. I'm sorry. Yes, my first watch. What would you like me to do, John?
Wake up, Sveta.
Okay. Sveta, wake up.
You might want to
Ah.
wake up Z-Teach, Sveta.
Z-Teach, wake up.
Huh? Oh, cooking eggs.
Yep. Morning has broken, just like the first morning.
Blackbird has spoken, like the first spring.
So, a very uneventful, non-maw evening.
I appreciate non-mall evenings. They're my favorites.
And so you guys wake up, and it's gotten colder. And why don't you make a weather roll there, Mr. Sveta? Miss Sveta? That's a success. Not a great success, but a success. And
gonna be
it looks
cold.
like it might snow or rain or something.
Weather is coming.
Well, let's get a move on. Faster we get to the host, the faster we get out of the weather.
All right, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and you guys ride. And at 9 o'clock, you are you go past the giant critter, and there's chunks missing.
Yeah.
There's a problem being only a couple hundred yards from the forest
Yeah.
and being a giant chunk of rotting meat.
Yep.
But some of the chunks are mouth shaped, and the mouth shape is bigger than your horse.
Yep.
So you guys ride past that, and you're half an hour away from the. It's 9 a.m. and you're half an hour away from the ley line. I don't know why that was so hard to say.
It's like Sveta skewer. It's not easy to say. Z-Teach, are you close enough to...
No, I have to be right up next to it.
Is this flat land, or is it inclined upward, inclined downward? What do we have?
Incline downward.
Okay.
You're still, although less of an incline, not an uncomfortable. You're still heading downhill.
Z-Teach, do you think you can use your... excuse me, I'm sorry. Do you think you can use your suit's far sight to make sure we're not missing anything?
What is, like, is it a plane that we're in still, or is it forest now?
You went through forest and now it's becoming plain.
Okay.
And where the ley line is a broader plain. But
And
the
it's
direction
going left
the
to
ley-
right? Go ahead.
Huh?
You were about to say.
Oh, the ley line is. It doesn't look like you can go around it, right? You're going to have to go through it.
Right.
Is it pretty perpendicular to where we're going?
Yes.
Okay. Z-Teach will stop the horse and get off, and he'll put on the suit.
There's
armored
also
suit.
there's no obvious trail here. You're just on open plain.
Yeah.
So in the past, you've always kind of said, "Oh, is something there at the trail? You know, what's to the left, what's to the right?" Now you're just on a big open plain.
Yep. So Z-Teach will put on the suit. He will cast Fly
Okay.
to get up a little bit of distance, and then he will use Farsight between where they are currently and the ley line. So first Fly, and then he will do a notice roll. Oh, first Farsight. He'll cast Farsight. Yep, that works. And that's really good, actually. And then a notice. To see if there's anything between us and the ley line.
So, right. The ley line is at your 12 o'clock, right?
Right.
And so right at about 3 o'clock, so off to your right-ish, you see a critter.
I like the word critter. It implies something small.
It's
Innocuous.
you see this.
That is neither small nor innocuous.
I believe that's called a nightmare.
Right, in fauna?
And it's kind of hanging out in that area of the ley line.
It's a centaur?
It's kind of like a dragon, deer, centaur thing.
Man, head face thing.
Yeah,
It's just kind of hanging out?
it is.
It is not attacking a woman on the ground.
It is not.
Okay.
Nor is there a puddle or scary trees.
So I will slowly... about how far off?
I said you guys stopped at 9 o'clock, but really you're not going to see that at 30 minutes away. So you had to have moved up to about a 15-minute, at the pace of the horse, is a 15-minute trip away. So I don't know, maybe that's a quarter mile away.
Okay. Does it seem to have noticed us? Is it looking in our direction, or?
It's not.
Okay, I will slowly lower back down, and then I will describe what I saw and the approximate location of where I saw it.
Oh, that sounds terrifying. Let's
Off
stay
to
away
the
from
right.
it.
Sounds a lot like the thing that we fought in the Colosseum.
It does. It does.
And soon as Sveta says that, Z-Teach, you recall you did fight something like that in the Colosseum.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oris lopped its head off.
So what are you guys thinking?
Oh, was that the only thing we saw? The only thing you saw?
Yes.
Well
And
then,
was that thing in the only path that we could go?
Oh no, it was off to the right.
yeah. We'll just watch for it. If we need to engage, we will. But let's see if we can't just go by without it noticing us.
Go off to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys ride on 15 minutes. It's way off to the right. You guys are coming up to the ley line. And stop me if you want to do something. You're at the ley line. You move into the ley line. This particular ley line is about a quarter-mile wide.
Z-Teach tops off as he's walking through.
Yeah.
And as we get to the other side, assuming that there isn't anything super interesting or deadly, Z-Teach, I'm assuming you're typing something. Z-Teach is planning on flying up along the edge of the other side to take a look at their route ahead to see if there's anything there.
Right. So at the pace the horses are going, it takes you about 15 minutes to ride through the ley line.
Okay.
And you're on the other side.
I'll take the reins to Z-Teach's horse when he floats up on off of it.
I thought you always had the reins to his horse because
I
he
do.
doesn't know how to ride.
Yeah.
It really
Just-
doesn't.
Yeah.
So I unless you say otherwise, I assume you're always leading his horse.
Got it.
We had previously kind of established that as
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
so let me know if that changes. Or unless, Z-Teach at some points decides he's going to learn how to ride a horse. So
I was
through-
impressed with what he did during the middle of the battle.
That was impressive. Somebody spent a Benny for something?
I spent it to reroll my notice.
Oh, you're trying to notice critters?
Yeah. Critters or threats or the host or anything of note.
Yeah, you'll be where the host was tomorrow.
Okay.
And otherwise, you don't see anything other than with that roll and you're flying up. You do see that other critter, but it doesn't seem to have noticed you or.
Oh, I see a critter on the back side, like behind us.
Yeah, way
Okay.
where. Yeah.
Okay.
You
Cool.
rolled well. You kind of know where to look. It's still there. If it did notice you at some point, it apparently hasn't taken an interest or decided you're not worth its trouble or something.
Yeah, it didn't come to follow us.
Yeah, it has not.
Then ZC will lower himself back down and climb up back onto his horse, or take the armored suit off and then climb back onto the horse.
Okay. All right. So it's now, let's see, 9:30. It's 10.
10.
It's 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so we're riding on.
Riding on.
Okay. So evening comes, nothing else is going to happen. You're kind of out of the mountains. You're on just flat plains, and you just need to ride across the plains to where the host was.
Right.
It's now, I don't know, 7, 8 in the evening and dark. And are you just going to camp here on the open plains?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you camp, same watch?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
You guys wake each other up. Morning, nothing happens.
Off we go.
Off you go. So you guys ride for about half the day, or well, almost 3/4 of the day, and you get to where the host was, and you see that there are not Cossack tents, but you do see that there are 3 tents and 3 horses.
I will turn to Boyani and say, are those your men?
It looks like it. He says, we need to get closer, but one of those, it looks like that might be Archer's horse.
I'll call out, what ho!
And you see, at this point, it's obvious Archer stands up and waves.
Wave back. No arrows. We're good. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Go
no, nothing dangerous.
Yep. Then we'll ride up.
Okay. It's good to see you.
It's very good to see
as
you.
well.
How did the scout go of the airship?
Well, we kind of destroyed the airships and the base.
Oh,
And we also destroyed a giant grown mutated monster that was set upon us by the same people.
I see. That's why there's more men than there are horses.
Yes, unfortunately, not all the horses were so lucky. But better the horses than the men.
Yeah. Yeah.
We also fought a vampire and a werewolf. It's been a long week.
That, I'm not sure quite what to say.
It's been a long week. Why are you guys here and not with the host?
I have someplace we should be.
And where's that?
Well, I lead a group of freedom fighters,
Yes.
and in order to fight, we need weapons.
Yes.
So, we purchase our weapons from weapons dealers.
Mm-hmm.
One of them I have worked with in the past has sent a message saying that he has information. I don't know what the information is, but I know that he knows what would be of interest to me. And so we need to go see this weapons dealer.
I have no problem doing that with you. I don't think Z-Teach or Sveta does, but I cannot speak for Danilo.
I have no issue with meeting this man. However, Orist, didn't you want to rejoin with your people?
I believe the host is expecting me, or did you already speak to...
I've already spoke. They know I'm going to speak to you.
Okay.
We don't want to take a lot of people.
Right.
And Danilo says, Vetter and I can find the host and relay all your news.
I will take the personal effects and give them to him. To Fetter.
Out of character, I
Yes.
want to tell you just a little bit about the world, what you guys already know. This is a Rifts map of the world out of the Rifts Warlords of Russia book. And so it's kind of a weird angle, the way he's done this. But if you see right here,
Yeah.
that's the Caspian Sea.
Right.
And if you see this chunk of land right here in the Black Sea, that's the Crimea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you can see Kiev is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what you know is right here, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it because the name has changed. And since this is in the future, when Kevin Simbita wrote this, the name hadn't changed yet. But now this city is called Samara, right here. Okay? And in a minute, this is going to be relevant. But right here, Samara, and right here, Donetsk, right?
Yeah.
You know that those are the two main cities of Orlov.
Right.
And so his control goes into the Ukraine here and then into Russia here to Samara. And you see up here is New Moscow.
Right.
So the warlords, there's 7 warlords, and 3 of them have territories that include Ukraine. And Romanov, the only female warlord, her territory is the only one that's wholly within Ukraine. Sergei and Orlov, parts of their territory are Ukraine. So it really is Eastern Ukraine, Middle Ukraine, and Western Ukraine is what the 3 warlords have. And then the other 4 warlords are all over former Russia and I'll say former Soviet states, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, etc.
Right.
Extending almost very close to Mongolia and China. And matter of fact, even bordering there, some of them. But anyway, so that's out of character history lesson stuff you guys already know. So, Arthur says, have you ever been to Donetsk? Out of character, I'm guessing for all of you, the answer is going to be no.
Yeah.
You do know it's Donetsk and Kiev are 2 huge cities in Ukraine.
Right.
And Donetsk is, again, the southern huge city for Orlov. It's his southern seat of power. So Arthur says, have you ever been to Donetsk?
No.
No.
We need to go. We will meet the weapons dealer in Donetsk.
So I will clasp forearms with Federer and Danilo, and I will ask them to take the personal effects to the families of our fallen and let them know what has happened, and let them know. And I will actually take out I'll ask Z-Teach for the pressing in the iron pressing in the bone to give.
Which he hands over quickly.
Yeah, and send that on. Yeah.
Okay.
And wish them Godspeed. And
All right.
Do they have enough food? Do they have enough water? Can I give them some?
Well, they're
wine
fine. And considering the time of day, they both suggest that maybe they'll. Archer says that his plan is to leave in the morning, and these guys are going to leave in the morning.
Oh no, you need to leave now. This wasn't a negotiation. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, perfect.
By the way, while you're talking to Arthur, Danilo points at the ground. and as soon as he sees you look where he's pointing, he casually walks over the marking,
Right.
and you see that, and you know that it indicates the host is to the west.
Okay. Yeah. I nod to him.
So
When we are done, we will find you.
okay. So unless you guys want to do something, it's morning, and those two ride off.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Boyani and the other two with Archer also ride off back to his base. So it's just the four of you. And Randall.
Oh, Robin. Got it.
Raymond.
Ricky.
Ralph.
Roy.
Rusev.
Rafiki, is that what you said?
So Archer does kind of pause as you guys are starting to ride off, and he says, I don't think they're going to let that into the city.
Why? He's a Cossack.
He's pointing at Randall.
Oh, I thought he was actually pointing at my horse.
Mm-mm.
We can figure something out.
Well,
Actually,
will he stay with the horses?
he
Yeah.
can, but would it be possible before we did it, like rewinding a little bit, could I try to send Randall with the other Cossacks back to the host as a like that way we don't have to worry about him for a little while?
Yeah, he might do that. Yeah, sure.
Fluff reason.
Yeah,
I give them a whole bunch of clods.
Yeah, he'll follow him off that way. So, two of you said you wanted to end early today. I'm prepared to go more. I don't know what time early is. Do we want to go farther, or is this a good stopping point? Or do you want to stop outside the walls of Donetsk?
I
have
will
a-
let Daniel dictate that.
I have about 35 minutes.
Okay.
That sounds about right for me too.
Okay. So it's going to be a 4-day ride south from where you are to get to Donetsk. Unless you say otherwise, I'm assuming you're going to eat, you're going to stop, you're going to build camp. Mark will have first watch, Sveta
Yep.
second, Z-Teach in the morning,
Yep.
and you will continue on that way. So,
That is correct.
okay, so
You are not doing anything at midnight.
you guys ride along, and morning of day 2.
Can you hold on for just 1 second? Daniel?
Yes, I can hear you.
Tell him that it's not going to be online
Hey, it's not
Until-
going to be online
until 1 a.m.
until 1 a.m.
Yeah, he was.
So yeah, it's not until you're not going to do it until tomorrow after school.
Yeah, I was about to say.
She's been talking about it nonstop
I know.
for 4
Sorry, John. I heard the background. I knew what that was, and I was
Oh, what game?
Fortnite.
Oh,
Galactus
Galactus.
invaded earlier, and now the aftermath is going to happen when it comes back online. And they had originally said it was going to be 9 p.m. our time, but it's actually coming back at 9 and then immediately going down for maintenance until 1 a.m.
I see.
So it'll be 4 a.m. your time before it's back online. So I knew they weren't going to let him stay up for that. That's why I wanted to say that.
I got you. I
Sorry to
understand.
disrail. My bad. But yes, you are correct. That's the order unless something happens.
Um, so you guys, the morning of the morning of the third day, you guys come upon a village.
How so compared to the city size we are looking for? What is this village?
It's a village. This is the
Okay.
typical village like you've been running into.
Handful of buildings, that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. This is not Donetsk. Um, and as you ride up, you don't see any people or anything in it.
Do I know what village this is?
Yes, you would know what village this is. Let me look up real quick. This is the village of.
Thank you. Okay, I shake it.
Why am I not seeing? There we go.
And to be clear, this is not the one that took a stand against tax collectors.
It is not that
Okay.
village. That village is north of you by quite a bit.
That's what I thought. I just want to make sure.
There we go.
And this is not Veliki Village, the one where everyone was dead from the ice, either.
That's north of the one that was resisting. So that's
Perfect.
way north.
Got it.
So this is
Sparta.
Previlia.
Previlia.
And it's a typical farming village.
How far out away are we?
You come up over a hill and it's below you, so you're, I don't know, less than a quarter mile away.
Okay, but no dogs, no people, no smoke, no anything.
Nope.
Signs of battle?
Yeah, there's probably, you see some damage on some of the buildings.
Okay. What's the biggest building?
Would be the main building.
Let's.
It's the it's the hall, the main hall.
I'll point out. Looks like there was battle at the buildings that are damaged. Maybe there's survivors in the main hall.
Not a bad guess. You'd have to ride up to see.
Like the battle looks recent?
No.
So, this probably would have had what, 100 people, 150?
Maybe, yeah, probably 150 to 100. Small village.
Yeah, let's go see what we can see. But as we go in, I'm wanting to keep eyes peeled for like signs of bioweapons.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that might pop up out of the ground that are.
No, not even like that. Like if Orloff like
Gassed them.
gassed the town, yeah, I don't want us to.
I see. Okay.
get-
So as you ride into town, the first thing as you take the road into town, the first thing on your left you see is actually a blacksmith shop. And everybody make a notice roll.
Zombie blacksmith time. My shoes. I got a success.
Well, yeah.
I know, but at first I saw my shoe, and then ZT sees everything.
I see everything. So Z-Teach, in front of the blacksmith shop, you see what looks like a flag on a guidon, basically a flag on a spear, lying in the dirt in front of the blacksmith shop. And the flag's not stretched out, but it looks like something's written on the flag.
The flag. It's made of stars. Zizich will pick up the guidon and the flag and flip it up to port arms.
Yeah, well, when I said that, I was like, oh yeah, Daniel know what I'm talking about. But then I was like, I don't know if the other two will.
Which is funny, which is actually meta funny because he also was that character.
He was what character?
He was the flag bearer. The standard bearer.
Oh, were you?
Were
you an honor guard or something?
No, in the flashback. Remember, we all lived the other lives?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He's the standard bearer.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome.
So he flips it up.
No. Sveta was the you were the sniper.
Yeah, I thought my character was, but I wasn't here for that.
Want to live anymore.
Oh, that's right.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I know that's right.
That's
Because he was like bitter for 3 sessions afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. No, Sveta was the.
That's right. Sveta was
the standard bearer.
What's on the flag? What's on the flag?
It says Kuznaya.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I quickly hide it from Sveta and burn it. No, I will.
It's a white flag with gold letters that say Kuznaya.
Carefully remove it from the guidon.
Okay.
Is it dirty?
Yeah. It's been laying in the dirt.
Zichi will try to clean it, brush it off and hand it to her, not reverently, but respectfully.
Okay.
I take it, and for a split second, there's a sense of pride, but then there's also a sense of fear of what has happened because of my name and because of my acts.
No, your hammer, not your axe.
So just for context, this was they tried to revolt in the name of the Kuznaya and lost. Was this thrown in the ground like a?
We don't know yet. We just got here. This is the first piece we found. Let's head to. I see the look in Sveta's eyes and say, let's head to the main building. Maybe we can find out more.
So, as you go through town, you in your heads, if you were a modern day nerd, you would hear Obi-Wan talking about Stormtrooper blaster fire. You see the weapon impacts on buildings and in permanent structure. You see damage on all the buildings.
But no bodies.
You haven't found any yet.
Okay. So somebody's at least alive in the town to bury the dead, if nothing else.
Well, it looks like it's not recent.
Right.
So, either bodies got buried, scavengers ran off with the bodies, or...
But it's not been a season, right? It probably a couple weeks.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But enough time for critters to come and do something, maybe.
How long has our campaign been going in their world?
You guys have been going for 4 or 5 months.
Okay. As I say, it's could this have been a revolt inspired by another Kuznaya?
It's possible. Who's to say?
Yeah, let's beeline to the main building. See if we can find any survivors.
So you get there. The front's blown off, you see that there's some cots inside, and there's dead bodies on the cots. It looks like maybe they had tried to set up some kind of triage center or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you see people in the cots and people laying on the ground. But everybody in there has been dead for weeks.
Well, I'll go ahead and shout. Is there anyone here? Any villagers of Previlia? Excuse me.
You hear the wind outside.
The Kuznaya is here.
More wind.
Oh, Zisich will pause his mind, and he will dig down deep into himself, and he will pull out the spell that he had modified to allow him to detect life.
So you see that there's a family of rats that live in this building. You see across the way where the granary is, you see field mice eating the grain. You rolled.
Oh, that was spellcasting. I need to roll a notice.
Oh, I thought you already rolled a notice.
Nope, sorry. I rolled a spellcasting to cast a spell. And I will spend
That's
it
a
again.
success.
Okay.
So you see off to not too far off from the town, you actually see a small pack of dogs or wolves or something canine.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like any kind of monstrance, anything, just some kind of, again, dogs, canines, wolves. You see there is a tree just outside of town, a large tree, not a forest, just a single tree. And you see some vultures, 2 vultures, assuming Ukraine has vultures. If they don't, then whatever Ukraine has that's similar to a vulture is what you see in the tree. You see lots of bugs. But you don't see people.
No people.
Hey, your
Period.
spell works, though.
Yeah. He will turn around slowly. He just turn around slowly and say, either they're dead or they're not here.
Well, regardless, it's one less town for Orloff to plunder. I just feel bad for all the people that lived here.
Wish we could find out what happened here.
Let's ride.
All right. So you ride on for the 3rd day. By the way, as you ride out of town, towards the exit of town, you see 7 more bodies.
Is our next stop Donetsk?
Well, we
I
thought
it was.
Yeah, we thought it was too, but then we found this.
So,
If I could retcon one thing.
okay.
Before we leave, I want to stop by the blacksmith shop and take some steel and make a faceplate for my helmet that just is a stern face of a man.
Okay.
Like with like holes in its eyes so I can still see.
Okay. An angry man faceplate. Roll a d8.
A D8.
Yes, sir. That's going to take you 45 minutes.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. And you guys ride. Are you permanently attaching it or making it so that it's can come on and off?
On and off.
On and off. Okay, you've got it. And are you using stock that the blacksmith had or some other material?
Yeah, if he had steel or something.
Okay, so it's just an SDC thing?
Yeah.
You're not?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you've got it. Halfway through the fourth day, you guys come upon some really serious farmland. As you start to ride in, you see a man herding some cows, and it looks very pastoral. As you ride past and closer, you start seeing heavily mechanized, robotic harvesting farming. And it's the second of November, and this is the final bits of harvest. But you see these giant cybernetic robot rifts harvesters in mass.
I hate you, Daniel.
Going as far as you can see either way, just cleaning up some fields.
And please send John that link so that he can forever see that anytime Russia and cows and farming are ever mentioned in a cybernetic setting again.
Yeah, I need to find it. Yeah.
Great.
Great.
Well, I'm worried when somebody says, send somebody this link.
No, it's specifically a Russian cyberpunk farm link.
Yes. Which, as soon as you started saying, look at the cyberpunk combines, I'm like, oh no.
Alrighty. So,
yeah.
Eventually, the farmland turns in. Anything you guys want to do as you're going through the farmland? No, I'm going to take silence as no's.
No.
So the farmland turns into almost like Brazil's favelas. It's this makeshift buildings and slums, and by the way, just I'm not really in character, but out of character, out of game. These are pictures from the slums around Donetsk and the war zone, and the one child is standing in a crater. Just for those following along at home, there are some real bad things happening in Ukraine, not in Rift's time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys ride on and you come, and you're now riding through slums. And I'll pause in case there's something you guys want to do.
To help mask my identity a bit, I will put the faceplate on.
Okay.
If it wasn't already.
Okay.
And all trumpet
I was
behind
assuming
her,
it
calling
was.
out for her, waving the flag I just got.
Riding along
The
behind.
Kuznaya! The Kuznaya news! The Kuznaya!
All right, so you guys ride on?
Yes.
All right.
My wife is going to be like, what the hell?
As you guys ride closer, the outskirts seem to get a little less slummy and a little more modern, so to speak. And it is starting to get dark. And if you keep riding, and I think that's about 35 minutes, as you keep riding, you get to the outside of the city.
Wow.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
I will turn to Archer and say, do you have plans for where we're staying this evening, or are we fending for ourselves, or what was your idea here?
Yeah, so he says yes. He leads you down the wall, towards an area that kind of looks like this-ish. And there's an area with kind of a warehouse, and he says, wait here just a second. And he gets off his horse, and then he hands Oris the reins, and he walks to the warehouse, and you can see him talking to somebody. He's like, later. Peace. Eventually, you see the person kind of nod, and you see Archer and him shake hands, but it looks like a suspicious shake hands, like maybe he gave him something. And Archer comes back and says, "We'll spend the night here, and he will keep the horses. They'll be safe here."
Good.
And there's an area in the back of the warehouse. You can see that it's held horses before.
Okay.
And he's got some hay and whatever horses need back there. And he says, in the morning, a man is going to meet us here, and I will pay him to get us inside the wall.
Very good.
Okay.
All right.
So are we going to stop there?
I think so.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you very much for running.
Thank you
Yeah,
for running.
thank you. Yeah, that's
This is
fun.
awesome.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
just in case you're curious, I was looking through Rift's books and online for, I wanted you guys to run into a giant critter, and I had in mind what I wanted I was looking for something that belonged to Rifts that I could throw in the game
I just
and
found out
be a
there's
challenge for this
Hot Wheel
evening.
bath bombs.
I found that picture in a Rifts document, but could find no definition of what it was, what it was
Where-
called.
What book it's in.
It was in Rift. I found an advertisement for Rifter 74. The Rifter is kind of a cross between a game book and a magazine
Right.
that Palladium Books puts out. I don't have 74, and I couldn't find it online, and I couldn't find it on the Trove, and that picture was in there. So I know it's something from Rifts. No idea what it is. I looked in the Savage Worlds and based it off the stats of a dragon, and added missile launcher stats to it, and there you go. And I actually thought it would be more of a challenge than people rolling 30 points of damage.
Hey, look at that. It's the first page of Rifter 74. The image. The image.
The image.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The image is page 1 of Rifter 74.
Oh, did you find the actual Rifter 74?
Yeah, it's on Drive-Thru RPG. I'm looking to see if it's in. It's not in the first 6 pages, but it's
okay.
like $8 for the PDF
Yeah.
if you really want to know.
Yeah, well, it's dead now.
You could also get with me offline, and I might be able to find you a copy.
Okay. Anyway, I don't need it now. You killed it. But anyway, I didn't know if you guys would find that interesting. That was the story of the critter, and that's why I just said critter. I don't even know what the thing's called. Other than
Dead.
oh my God, that's a weird. Yeah, and you were right. I did debate about the separate heads and whether and normally those kind of large creatures are wild cards. Normally it takes 3 wounds to kill a wild card. I kind of debated about that, but then I thought, oh, it's got 20 toughness. That's bigger than anything you guys have fought. No, it'll be 3 wounds. And, the first 3 hits, I was like, oh, okay. So apparently I'm still struggling to challenge you guys.
No, it was a challenge.
Well,
You hit
I did
Sveta.
Well, I hit Sveta and I hit you.
Yeah.
And I killed a couple horses.
That's right.
But fortunately you guys made your vigor rolls. And so never went past being shaken.
Once I realized I had 10 armor piercing, if I would have gotten another action, I would have gone right up its butt.
When you start talking about the orangutan and everything else, I was just like, oh, God.
Yep. Yep.
So I can't Ant-Man this.
That's what I said.
I was just like,
that's what I
oh.
said.
Did Ant-Man go up something?
No, there was
No.
a theory that Ant-Man was going to kill Thanos by doing that.
Oh,
literally doing that. And I was just gonna use a sword, but
I wasn't aware of that theory.
Yes.
So okay, all right.
Yes.
All right. Well,
yeah, and if you'd like to support us after that conversation, you can do so by clicking the follow button or the subscribe button on Twitch. Become one of our rock stars. On YouTube, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and the bell icon so you get notified when we upload new content, which is almost every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. Or you can head to patreon.com/gamersledge, where you can get your name on every single show that we do for as little as $1 a month, just like the fine folks that are scrolling across the middle of our screen right now. Thank you to all our patron and Twitch producers. Thank you to all the players, Chris, Daniel, myself, and thank you, John, for running.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you guys. I had a blast.
And until next time, game on.
Game on.
Game on.